Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Brittany. Make sure to subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos from me coming up in the future. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into today's video. So this is a new series that I'm starting on my channel. Like I think I alluded to this like in a vlog from earlier this month, but something new I'm going to be doing every single month at the end of the month is sharing my monthly favorites. So for the most part, what I'm trying, actually, yes. So not even for the most part. In this video or in like my favorites, anything that's included in my favorites will be something that was new to me in the past month. So like I had never really tried it before until that month. So it is truly like I feel like an unadulterated, I don't know if that's the right word, but it is truly like a new favorite, like in the moment. So starting with my favorite category, which is, I guess I could call this like, this is my first favorites video, so we'll see how this goes. But I think I'll call this category like beauty and skincare, beauty and body care, beauty products, working title. Anyway, okay, so one product, okay, so I guess this first product is not necessarily new to me, but I had not used it in a long time and I got really hot and heavy into it in this past month, but I finished it. So it's an empty, but it is this product from Sephora collection. It's a Shea Butter All Day Hydrator. I love this like lotion. As you can see, it's like completely empty. I mean, I feel like I first bought this, it was probably last winter, and then I didn't use it for a while, and then I really like, it's been so dry that I feel like my like body, like my skin is just like immediately absorbing any kind of moisture I put onto it. But this is the truth. So like I use this like after the shower, or after a shower most of the time, and I need to like repurchase it. But it's even kind of good for just like putting on your hands like at night or something like that. But it's Sephora collection, so it's less expensive than some like I want to say this is $12 maybe. So it's less expensive than more of the like prestige brands, but I think this is just like a really good product. So this is something 12 out of 10 would recommend. I will be rebuying forever and always, at least in the winter. So, okay, so that's product number one. And then this next product is something that is just truly like was totally, I almost dropped it, was totally new to me in this past month. And it is these e.l.f. liquid blushes. So I think it's called the Camo Blush. Technically, that's like the name of the product, but these are dupes for the Rare Beauty liquid blush. And I actually have this one on right now. So this is the Bronze Bombshell. I did put a little bit of like a powder blush on top of it, but this is pretty much like true to the color of it. So I feel like it is like a very pretty brownish, reddish bronze type of color. And then this is a really pretty hot pink. And I really like both of these. They're $7. And the Rare Beauty ones, I mean, the Rare Beauty ones aren't crazy expensive, but a lot more than $7. I want to say they're maybe in the like $20 range. But these are just as, if not maybe more pigmented than the Rare Beauty ones, especially this hot pink. And I feel like finding a good hot pink for darker skin is hard for a multitude of reasons, making sure it's like the right warmth, but also pigmented enough. And this one is like, I feel like this is an e.l.f. ad, but it's not sponsored by e.l.f., but I really am like very much into these blushes. So these came out pretty recently, like maybe it was right around the holidays. And I like when I went to my Target, this was the only color they had that I was interested in. There was like a berry and stuff like that, but I have blushes that are similar colors to that. And so, but then when I just went back the other day, they had this and I had been wanting to try this color. So I bought it and now I am obsessed with both of them. So, okay, so those are my two favorites from in like the beauty, skincare, body care, all of the above category. Moving on into the next category, which I'm literally just going to call this miscellaneous because you could say it's like a home and food. That's what it'll be called, home and food. This first thing I'm going to talk about is these are the Izzy sparkling juices. So this flavor that I have right here is blackberry. I am very partial to the apple flavor. So I was in Target one day and they were doing samples, which I've never seen a Target do sample, but the Target by me is like always doing samples in the food section these days. Like it's giving Costco, but I'm into it. And they got me with, I also love apple juice. So like, but like I'm an adult and not 5. And I feel like drinking apple juice, like it has a lot of sugar in it, but also like I'm a grown up. But so I sampled the sparkling apple juice and I went immediately to the shelf and bought it. And so they come in 4 packs of these like tall cans. I think they're $5, like $4.99. So, I mean, they're not super cheap, but like not bad either. They're so good. Like the first pack that I had, I probably drank all of them in like 2 days. And so I made myself, now I can only let myself drink one a day because they're just so good. But it does have no added sugar, no artificial sweeteners, but I feel like they taste just like juice. And it's nice, it has like a little bit of a fizz in it too. So I'm really loving these Izzy sparkling juices. So like I said, this is blackberry. Apple is my favorite. I've also tried the mango and the clementine, and I really liked all of those too. Like I haven't tried a flavor that was like, yuck, I'll never try that, but the apple is my girl. So, okay, so that is like a food and beverage product that I'm like loving. And then, okay, this is probably gonna sound like a huge loser, but I just got a Navage I bought it like right after Christmas, I think. And I am obsessed with this. So, like I said, like this might make me sound like a huge loser, but I feel like more people need to know about this product because I didn't know, I had never heard of a Navage until like I have always had a lot of, I feel like, sinus and nasal issues. Like I have allergies all the time. And I've been noticing was so congested like every day. And then when I was watching and like editing my YouTube videos, I felt like I sounded really nasally and really congested. So I was like, okay, yeah, I definitely like something is going on. So I was honestly like gonna go to the doctor, which is dramatic. I know I was gonna try to go to an ENT. But before I did that, I asked my mom, who is a nurse practitioner, so I consider her my like medical concierge. And she was like, you don't need to go to the doctor. You just need to get like a neti pot or something. She's like, that's what I would like recommend to you. And neti pots I think are like a next level type of thing. Like, I don't think that I'm not the target market for that. Like pouring something into my nose and letting it come out and like having to do that on my own. No thanks. However, the Navage is like, it's suction. So you can see like there's little arrows on the side that tell you like if it's suctioning in or out. So you basically fill this top part with distilled water, and then there are little like saline pods that you put in here. Close it up, like let the saline mix into the water, and then there's a button here on the side that you press, and then the suction starts. So it basically suctions the water in and out of your nose like all on its own, and then like the dirty gross water goes in here in the bottom. And I feel like I'm breathing better than ever. Like, I not to be dramatic, but like, I was like, I really took for granted how beautiful breathing is until I was just like so congested all the time. So I like 12 out of 10 recommend this. I mean, I think this is expensive. I want to say it was $100. I don't think it was $200. I don't know, maybe. But worth every penny. And I also used my FSA to buy it. So like I had like funds that I could use and I kind of like needed to use before the end of the year. And you do have to buy the pods. I'm trying to figure out a way to like get around having to rebuy the pods. Like if there's some other like cheaper and like less wasteful way to do it, but it came with like 4 packs of pods, so I'm good for a little while anyway. I've been using it like once a day. They recommended to use it twice a day for 2 weeks in the beginning, but that honestly, that's a lot of time, and B, that just feels like a lot, like to be suctioning through my nose twice a day. But I've been doing it about once a day. There's a couple days I have forgotten, and I just feel like I'm breathing better than ever. So, and I could tell I didn't use it for a few days because I was out of town, and I was like, it's not hitting the same. And as soon as I did it when I got home, I was like, yes, that is what I needed. So maybe I sound like a loser, but I cannot recommend the Navage enough. Okay, so then moving into like the entertainment category, we'll say, so I've mentioned this in like a few of my other videos before. I got a record player for Christmas. And so, I mean, it's been like about a month now, I guess, that I've had it. And I've been really trying to get into the record collection curation game. So, I mean, I kind of was upfront just addicted to buying records. And I think I have now almost every Beyonce record except for Renaissance, I think. And I like was going to the record store like once a week, it seemed like, and like buying at least 2 records, which can get expensive. But I also was just like, I feel like that's maybe not the best way to approach this, just like buying stuff all the time. So I did join my like local record store, Rattleback Records, which I 12 out of 10 would recommend going there if you're in the Chicagoland area. It's in Andersonville. It's like Clark and Balmoral, I think. So Rattleback Records has a record club, like a subscription type of thing. And there's different levels that you can buy into. I, for the first month, just did the lowest one, which was $40 a month. And you get 1 new record and 1 used record. And they, like the owner of the record store, curates your choices for you every month. So I took like this little quiz at the beginning, and they asked like, what's your like, what do you have in your record collection now? Like, what kind of music do you gravitate towards a lot? Like, what was your first concert? What was the first like cassette, CD, whatever you bought for yourself? What was the first concert you ever went to? Did I already say that? Maybe. And then just like a lot of questions like that, but then also how willing are you to try new music? I'm like on a scale of 1 to 5, I think I said a 4. I either said a 3 or a 4. It's like, yes, I want to try new music, but like they did also ask what categories do you absolutely not want. So there were like a couple really just like country music. I don't really like country. But I was like, yeah, I'm open to almost anything. And then at the end of every month, and I just found this out because I just did my first month, but at the end of every month, you do a survey of like, I liked these picks, I didn't like this, what did I like about it? What do I want to continue on with? And then they list out again all the different options for the club and like if you want to change your subscription. So I actually did go up and then you can also buy 3 months ahead and it's like a savings. So for February and March, I did 1 new album and 2 old albums because I'm really liking the oldies picks. And that was, I think it was $50 a month to do that. If you did it, or no, I think it was $50 a month, but like since I bought 3 months up front, I ended up only paying $110 versus $150. That math is like not mathing, but you know what I mean. I ended up saving, I know it's a saving of about $15 overall. Okay, so I think this month though, in addition to the record club picks that I got, I bought, I want to say 4 other albums. So I bought Lemonade, but that's like not a new album to me, obviously. I bought the Jackson 5 and Jay-Z albums I talked about in my weekend vlog from a couple weeks ago. And then I feel like there's I just bought the other day from Target. I mean, this is kind of like a corny pick. It's almost like a now type of album, but it's called Raised by Rap. And it's like a 50 years of hip hop memorabilia type of, or like celebration type of albums. And like last year, like 2023 marked like 50 years of hip hop. So what I will say though, like when I read through the track list, I was like, okay, this is an interesting mix, but I still bought it because I did like a decent amount of the songs. The like D side where it's like more recent picks is a little odd. Like there's like Doja Cat, which I don't know if I would include Doja Cat in a roundup of like top R&B or hip hop hits of the past 50 years, but this was an album from Sony. So I'm pretty sure all the artists on here are Sony artists because like Jay-Z is missing, like Tupac, Notorious B.I.G., even like P. Diddy, like as problematic as he is, but like none of the bad boy like entertainment artists are on here. So, I mean, it's like a cool album, but like interesting. And then maybe those are the only albums I bought this month in addition to my record club picks. But in my record club pick, I got Kendrick Lamar to Pimp a Butterfly, which I had never listened to that whole album start to finish. I've just listened to the singles, obviously. And it's really good. Like it's a very like, for anyone that like hasn't listened to it, it's a very like introspective like rap album, which is like very much Kendrick Lamar. But it's really good. I really liked every song, or I would say I really liked listening to it from start to finish. But then the other pick that I got is something I would have never picked before. Oh, and I will say too about the record club, they send you like, hey, here's an email of like, here's your picks and like a quick little overview of them. And so the other album that I got was by Ricki Lee Jones, and this is her debut album. I did not know who Ricki Lee Jones was. I probably would have never found this album or picked it out on my own, but in the like overview or the email that they sent me, they did say like, this is a very poppy like sound. Like he was like, I think that you would really like this. And like, again, like I said, I would never have found this artist on my own, but I'm obsessed with this album. It's so good. Like, what's my favorite album? I want to say Chuck E's in Love might be my favorite album. It's just so good. It's like very much like easy listening, like a Sunday morning type of album. But this is my favorite record of the month. And it's my favorite record, I think, because it's so unexpected. Like I said, I would have never picked this. I wouldn't have thought that I would like this random artist from, when did this come out? 1979. 1979. She's also kind of gives like Jenny from Forrest Gump vibes, right? Just like in the cover art. But I really, really liked it. And so it was like fun to discover something outside of the norm of what I would have gone for originally, but that I really liked. And I think this is a really good album. She has a really great voice and good sound. So like would recommend this to anyone that likes a soul. It's very much like a Blue-Eyed Soul type of vibe. Like if you like artists like, I feel like Lorde or like Amy Winehouse. Like these are modern day artists I'm thinking about, or even like a Renee Rapp. I feel like you might like this. So anyway, I think this is a really good album. So this was my favorite album of January. I actually might listen to it later today because like it's been a week or so since I listened to it. Moving into like the movie and TV realm. So I don't know if I've said this before. I feel like I probably have. I don't watch like a ton of TV. More recently I have been because it's been so cold outside, so I haven't been doing a ton of stuff, I feel like. But since like the strike, the writer and actor strike and everything from last year, like my normal shows haven't been on. And I'm very much like I don't really watch reality TV. I am very much an OG TV kind of person. Like I love a series that has 15 seasons, 27 episodes a season, storyline from start to finish. Like that's the kind of TV I like. And since everything's been on strike, like there hasn't really been a lot. And like while limited series are fun and cool, then they're over and like I want to come back to my characters every month. So I feel like, or every week. So I feel like I've been like lacking in the TV realm, but TV shows are back, baby. Anyway, this month though, I did finally, or a couple weeks ago actually, I did finally watch Beef on Netflix. And I know this came out like about a year ago, I feel like. And that's the thing too about limited series. When something comes out, if you don't watch it, I feel like in the first couple weeks when there's all the hype around it, then something else new comes out. And then it's like, okay, I forgot about that. Like, then there's this other like new thing to watch. And like those 6 episodes I forgot about. So since it's award show season and like Beef has been winning a lot of awards, I was like, oh yeah, I wanted to watch Beef. So I finally started it. I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I'm done. I think I have 1 episode left, mostly because it's just like, like how I was just saying, I don't want my shows to end. I didn't want it to be over. So I haven't watched like the last episode yet. But Beef is like hands down my favorite show of the month. I might have also been like the only one I watched. But I think it's so good. It's so like, I mean, it's like a dark comedy, like kind of like The Bear in a lot of ways, where it's like, it is funny, but it is also extremely dark. And it also is just like, I like seeing like, people from different cultures outside of what people think of like on American TV. I feel like so much, especially I feel like in the like more so lately, what we see a lot on TV is of just like white people or shows that are about people who are not white. It's very much about their experience as being that whatever they are, like Black, Hispanic, whatever. And I like shows like this, like Beef, like where it's like these people are they're all Asian. They're not all like from the same countries in Asia. Like there's like, I think her husband's Japanese. The main character is, I think, Taiwanese, Korean, Chinese. Like it's a little bit of mix of everything in the show. And like, obviously that is a part of who the characters are, but the show is not about them being Asian in America. It's like them being just like experiencing life like normally. And so I really, really like that aspect of it. And it's just like a really, really good show. Like it's insane, like what happens in it, like from episode to episode, but it's really, really funny, too. So I would 12 out of 10 recommend Beef if you're looking for something new to watch. And then I also like love going to the movies, as you've probably heard me mention on many vlogs before. And this month so far I've seen 3 movies. So I just saw Mean Girls, I saw American Fiction, and I saw Iron Claw. Technically, I saw that in December. It was like December 30th, but like I'm gonna count it in January. So I saw those movies in theaters, I guess I should say specifically this month. I am probably gonna go to the movies again this weekend, but like I go to the movies like at least once a week for the most part. And so those are the 3 movies that I saw. And I would say, I thought they were all very good movies, but in very different ways. And it was kind of hard to pick what was my favorite one of the month. So I'm actually going to pick the movie that I enjoyed the experience of the month. And that was, that I most enjoyed the experience of going to see this past month. And that was Mean Girls, because I honestly didn't think I thought it was going to be like a very meh. Like I love Mean Girls. Obviously it's an iconic movie. I'm a millennial. Like Mean Girls is like we love Mean Girls, right? And I mean, I was in high school when Mean Girls originally came out, so it was like a very like, ooh, this is like a cool, fun, relatable type of movie. But then when I like saw that the movie was coming out like as a musical and that it was the exact same plot as the original Mean Girls, I was like, okay, this is getting a little old. These movies that are just like remakes of previous ones. I can't believe it would even be better than the original. Like it's not gonna hold a candle to it. It was actually really, really good. Like I thought it was really funny. And it was I feel like it was updated in some ways to make it more relevant to a modern audience, because Mean Girls came out 20 years ago, which is like, that's kind of insane to think about. But it didn't, but not in a way that it was too what's the Sex and the City reboot, and just like that, where it was like, okay, you guys are trying a little bit too hard to like incorporate everything that like goes on in the world now. Like, it was just like a modern, like, the cast was a little bit more diverse, well, was more diverse than the original Mean Girls, and they took out some lines that like I think are would be problematic now 20 years later. Like, there's a couple of things. Oh, when they're talking about the burn book, like when I cannot remember, why can't I remember the name of the person, but that like was hooking up with the teacher, like that's kind of sick if you think about it. Like, that wasn't in there. They like made it something else. When Mr. Duval is like, I did not leave the South Side for this, because like that is a little problematic. He doesn't say that, he says something slightly different. So it's like little things like that are slightly different, but it's not in a way that makes you be like, oh, come on, like they're trying a little too hard here. And it was just so good. It was so fun. And like the musical element of it didn't make it feel like I would easily go see this again, but it didn't make it feel like a force-fed type of musical, because like that, like I feel like there are a lot of musical movies coming out, and some of them can be a little like too much, but it worked. Like, it really, really worked. And the cast was all really good, except my only critique will be that Katie Heron, did not love her. She was a little meh, but I also wonder if it's because everyone else in the cast was so good, like no notes for everyone else, and that she just like, meh, it was kind of like, okay, we could have done even without her. No disrespect to that actress, but I am obsessed with Renee Rapp now. Like, I'm her biggest fan. I didn't know who she was until like probably like 3 or 4 weeks ago. And then I discovered her music and I really liked it, because I saw her like single, or her remix coming out with Coco Jones, who I love. And then I was like, oh, who is this other girl, Renee Rapp? So then I fell into that rabbit hole. Then I realized she was Regina George. And then I saw the like single with Megan Thee Stallion that came out like right when the movie dropped. And I was like, oh, I love Renee Rapp, I think. And then after seeing her as Regina, 12 out of 10, I'm obsessed with her. I am her biggest fan now. And I just thought it was really good. So like, would recommend going to see it. Like, is it an Oscar winning movie? No, I don't think, but like, it was so fun and just like such a good experience, and like great movie to like, it's a very like, low stakes type of movie to go see, where you just go see it, you enjoy it, you walk out and you're like, that was fun. So those are my favorites from January. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. If there's something in there that like you like, a new product or something you learned about, and like, feel free to leave me a little comment about it. Any suggestions that you have for new things that I could try, would, especially like any album recommendations that you have, would definitely love to hear those. But anyway, like I said, hope that you enjoyed it. Hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, all of that, so that you don't miss out on my future videos. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one.